Good morning, everyone. I am Ayan Nelson B. Payan. I would like to discuss to you the assigned lesson of Module 4 to me. Before I start my part, I would like first to introduce what is Module 4 all about. This module tackles about statistics, and the coverage lesson of this module are measure of central tendency, measure of dispersion, measure of relative position, normal distribution, and lastly but not the least, linear regression and correlation. Let me read aloud the definition of statistics. Statistics involve the collection, organization, summarization, presentation, and interpretation of data. It has two branches which are descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics involve the collection, organization, summarization, and presentation of data. On the other hand, inferential statistics interprets and draw conclusion from the data. And now, I will discuss to you the first lesson of Module 4, which is the lesson that tackles about measure of central tendency. In this lesson, we will going to determine the arithmetic mean, the median, the mode, and the weighted mean. One of the most basic statistical concepts involves finding measure of central tendency of a set of numerical data. It is often helpful to find numerical values that locate, in some sense, the center of the set of data. To put in a simple word, central tendency is a central or typical value for a probability of distribution. Colloquially, it is often called averages. So, there are three main types of averages that can be considered, known as the arithmetic mean, the median, and the mode. Arithmetic mean is the most commonly used measure of central tendency. The arithmetic mean of a set of numbers is often refers to as simply the mean. To find the mean of the set of data, find the sum of the data values and divide it by the number of data values. In statistics, it is often necessary to find the sum of the set of numbers. The traditional symbol used to indicate a summation is a Greek letter sigma. Thus, the notation EX is called the summation of notation. Denotes the sum of all the numbers is given set. We can define the mean using its summation notation. The mean of n numbers is the sum of the numbers divided by n. Statisticians often collect data from the small portion of the large group in order to determine information about the group. In such situations, the entire group under consideration is known as the population, and any subset of the population is called the sample. To make it more understandable, population is the entire group that you want to draw the conclusion about, while the sample, it is the specific group that you will collect data from. It is traditional to denote the mean of a sample by X bar and to denote the mean of population by the Greek letter lowercase mu. Now, let us have her an example to find the mean. Suppose Ellie is a senior at a university. In a few months, she plans to graduate and start a career as a landscape architect. A survey of 5 landscape architects from the last year senior class showed that they received job offers with a following salaries: $43,750, $39,500, $38,000, $41,250, and $44,000. Before Ellie interviews for a job, she wished to determine an average of these 5 salaries. This average should be a central number around which the salaries cluster. For instance, To find the mean of the 5 listed salaries above, just divide the sum of the salaries by 5. Therefore, the mean suggests that Ellie can reasonably expect a job offer at the salary of about $41,300. Now that I am done discussing the arithmetic mean, let's now proceed to the next topic, which is determining the median. Another type of the average is the median. Essentially, the median is the middle number or the mean of the middle number in the list of numbers that have been arranged in a numerical order from the smallest to largest or the largest to smallest. Any list of the number that is arranged in a numerical order from the smallest to largest or the largest to smallest is a ranked list. The median of a ranked list of a n number is the middle number if the numbers of the data values n is odd, or the mean of the two middle numbers if the numbers of the data values n is even. For example, find the median of the data in the following list. The list 4, 8, 1, 14, 9, 21, 12 contains 7 numbers. The median of a list with an odd number of entries is found by ranking the number and find the middle number. Ranking the numbers from the smallest to largest gives 1, 4, 8, 9, 12, 14, 21. The middle number is 9, thus 9 is the median. The list 46, 23, 92, 89, 77, and 108 contains 6 numbers. The median of a list of data with an even number of entries is found by ranking the number and computing the mean of the two numbers. So, ranking the numbers from the smallest to largest gives 23, 46, 77, 89, 92, and 108. The two middle numbers are 77 and 89. Let's find the mean of these two numbers. So, to determine the mean, we have to find summation of the data values divided by the number of data values. Mean is equal 77 plus 82 divided by 2 is equal to 166 divided by 2 equals 83. Therefore, 83 is the mean of the data. That's all for my report, everyone. I hope that you learned something from me. And for the continuation of the discussion in this lesson, we will now have Mr. Pendong to give you an explanation of the another two remaining topics of this lesson, the mode and the weighted mean. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.
Good day everyone and Assalamu alaikum. I am Abdullah A. Pendong and I will discuss the continuation of Mr. Payan's video report, which is the part of the measure of the central tendency. So now, let's proceed to my main topic, which is the mode. So ano nga ba itong the mode? Um, the mode of the list of the number that occurs most frequency. In Tagalog, ito yung mga number na pinakamarami or pinakamadalas sa isang data set. For example, we have 426279249897. So, paano natin malalaman ang mood sa isang set ng number? Sabi dito, ito yung number of pinakamaraming number or pinakamadalas sa isang set is ito yung the mode. So, ano sa tingin nyo ang mood dito? The number 2 occurred 3 times and also number 9 occurred 3 times. So, dalawa ang mood natin which which is number 2 and number 9. Okay, so magbibigay ulit tayo ng halimbawa. For example, ulit find the mode of the find the mode of the following list. We have 18, 15, 21, 16, 15, 14, 15, 21. So, obviously, yung number 15 ay nakatatlong beses siya naulit sa isang set. So, sabi nga, malalaman natin ang mood sa isang set ng number kung malalaman natin ang mood sa isang dataset ng number kung ito ay madalas or marami. So, which is, number 15 ay tatlong beses siya nakita or naulit sa isang dataset. So, therefore, number 15 ang ating mode. So now, after natin yung mode, let's proceed to another application of the central tendency, which is the mean of weighted. So ano nga ba tong mean of weighted? A value called that weighted mean is an often when some data value are more important than other. So meron tayo sa bawat number is meron sari-sariling bigat. Okay, for example, di ba sa mga major subject natin is may 5 units and sa PE naman is may 2 units lang. So, mas mabigat yung major subject natin kaysa doon sa mga minor subject. So, saan tayo mag-aaral ng mabuti or saan tayo mag-focus, di ba, doon sa major subject natin? Kasi mas malaki yung epekto niya sa general weight average natin. Okay, for example, for instance, main professor determine a student course grade from the student test and the final examination. To find the weighted mean of the student's score, the professor first assign a weight to each score. Okay, so yung mga example nito is yung mga normal test natin, gaya ng midterm, prelim, is meron lang siyang weight na 1. And pero yung sa final exam natin ay may weight na 2. So, may different na doon. Mas mabigat yung weight ng final exam natin kaysa doon sa mga normal exam natin. So, okay, so nakuha yung weight mean na ito yung bawat number is may bigat or may halaga, may magkakaiba. Tulad nga ng example is magkaiba yung weight ng score natin sa mga previous exam natin kaysa dun sa final exam natin. So, balik tayo sa the mode. Okay, yung mode is ito yung mga number na pinakamadalas or pinakamarami sa isang data set. Okay? So, that's all. That's all, and thank you. I hope you understand, guys.
Good day, everyone. My name is Charnel P. Portilla, and my report for today is measure of dispersion. A measure of variability of a set of data is a number that conveys the idea of spread for the data set. To measure the spread of dispersion of data, we must introduce statistical values as known as the range, standard deviation, and variation. Range. The range measures the distance between the largest and the smallest values, and as such, gives an idea of the spread of the dataset. However, the range does not use the concept of deviation. It is affected by outliers, but does not consider all values in the dataset. Thus, it is not a very useful measure of variability. How to find the value of range? That is, get the highest and the lowest value, and then subtract the highest value to the lowest value. Example, find the range. Find the range of the numbers of ounces dispensed by machine 1 and machine 2. We have a machine. This is a soda dispense. Using the two machines, we're going to find the range of the numbers of ohms dispensed by machine 1 and machine 2. So as you can see, the largest value here is 10.07 and the lowest value is 5.85. So 10.07 subtract by 5.85, that is equal to 4.22 ohms. So that is our gauge for machine 1. And for machine 2 is, the largest value here is 8.03 and the lowest value is 7.95. That is 8.03 minus 7.95, that is equal to 0.08 ohms. Variance. The variance for a given dataset is the square of the standard deviation of the data. Variance of the population. So to compute the variance of the population, we're going to use this formula. So this is a sigma square is equal to the summation of the quantity of x minus u squared over n. To compute the variance of the sample, we're going to use the symbol squared. S squared is equal to the summation of quantity of x minus u squared all over n minus 1. So for standard deviation, the standard deviation is a measure of how spread of numbers are. Its symbol is this, the Greek letter sigma. Standard deviation of the population. For getting the standard deviation of the population, we're going to use this formula or simply get the square root of your variance. We are using this. Wala na tayong square dito kasi only small letter s, or simply get the square root of the formula for the variance of the sample. So this is the procedure for computing a standard deviation. So first, determine of the n numbers. For each number 2, for each number, calculate the deviation difference between the number and the mean of the numbers. Number 3, calculate the square of each deviation and find the sum of this square deviation. Number 4, if the data is a population, then divide the sum by n, and if the data is a sample, then divide the sum by n minus 1. Number 5, find the square root of the quotient in step 1. So we have an example here, and find the variance in the standard deviation. The following numbers were obtained by sampling a population: 2, 4, 7, 12, and 15. So, to find the mean, we must first find the mean of the data given set. So, paano kinukuha yung mean? So, add the given data set and divide by the number of the given data set. So, 12 plus 4 plus 7 plus 12 plus 15, that is equal to 40 over 5. So, 40 divided by 5, that is equal to 8. So, ibig sabihin, the value of our mean is 8. So, here in step number 2, we compute the variance. Since this is a sample, so we're going to use this formula for getting the variance of the sample data. So, we're going to subtract. Isa-isahin natin gagawin. So, yung bawat given, so start tayo sa 2. Subtract natin siya sa nakuha nating mean and then squared plus yung kasunod. So, 2 minus 8 squared plus 4 minus 8 squared plus 7 minus 8 squared plus 12 minus 8 squared plus 15 minus 8 squared, that is equal to 118. So, all over. So, since this is n minus 1, substitute natin yung number. So, that's 5 minus 1. And after that, you're using our scientific calculator. So, the result here in your numerator is 118. So, yung denominator nyo naman ngayon is magiging 4. Bakit? So, yung n minus 1, since 5 yung given minus 1, that is equal to 4. So, 118 divided by 4 that is equal to 29.5. So therefore, the variance is 29.5. Ngayon, to get the value of standard deviation for sample given data set, so we're going to use this formula or simply get the square root of your answer. So, the variance natin is square root lang natin yung variance natin para makuha natin yung standard deviation. So, the square root of 29.5, that is 5.43. So, ganyan lang pagkukuha ng variance and the standard deviation. Sa una, kunin nyo muna yung mean value nyo and then, so, titignan nyo yung problem kung population or sample. And then, you can decide what formula you're going to use. So, sa problem na to. Sample yung given na data set. So, therefore, ito yung ginamit natin na formula. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, so hi everyone. I am your next reporter. I am Wendell Milka. And now, let's proceed sa example number 4. At para dito sa example number 4 natin, kailangan natin dito ng calculator. So, if you have calculator sa bahay nyo, please follow along. Ngayon, gagamit natin itong calculator to find the mean and the standard deviation. Ngayon, kung makikita nyo dito sa slide natin, ito ngayon yung table. So, ito yung Olympic Women's 400 meters dash result. In second dito siya. So, we're gonna be using a graphing calculator to find the mean and the standard deviation of the times in the following table. Because the table contains all the winning times for this race. And itong dataset na nakita sa screen nyo ngayon is a population. Ngayon, itong dataset na to is from 1969 to 2012 ito siya. At ang kailangan natin gawin dito is hanapin yung mean and standard deviation niya. So again, if you have calculator, please follow along. So here we have the solution. So on a T1, 83, or 84 calculator, i-click nyo lang yung start and then enter. And then, enter the above times into list. Click nyo yung L1. Then press start, then another enter ulit. At pag ginawa nyo yun, ganito yung magiging kalabasan niya. So the calculator displayed the mean and the standard deviation shown below, which is ito. Because we are working with the population, we are interested in the population standard deviation. So from the calculator screen, we have x is equals to 49.5858s and OX equals 1.021s. So yan yung solution kung paano natin makuha yung mean and standard deviation neto. So ngayon, mag-proceed ngayon tayo dito sa the variance. A statistic known as the variance is also used a measure of dispersion. So yung nakita nyo kaninang table na yun, set of data, ang tawag po doon is variance. And yun siya ay mini-measured from or of dispersion. So the variance for a given set of data is the square of the standard deviation of the data. The following chart shows the mathematical notation that denote standard deviation and variance. Yung ibig sabihin naman nila na chart dyan ay ito. So ito yung annotations for standard deviation and variance. So yung kanina yung pinakita kong solution kanina, ito yung mga meaning nun. So ito yung mga meaning niyan. So we have O, meaning niyan is standard deviation of a population, which is ginamit yan natin kanina sa table na pinakita ko. O squared is the variance of population. S is the standard deviation of sample, and S squared is the variance of sample. At ngayon na discuss na natin yan, pwede na tayo ngayon mag-proceed sa example number 5, which is ang find the variance. Ngayon, from the previous report, makikita natin dito, ang gagawin natin is find the variance for sample given in example 2. So ito yung solution. In example 2, we found that S is equal to 29.5. The variance is squared of the standard deviation. Thus, the variant is S squared equals 29.5 squared is equals to 29.5. So, ganun siya isolve. Pagdating naman kung hanapin natin yung variance. Ngayon, although the variance of set of data is important measure of dispersion, it has a disadvantage that is not shared by the standard deviation. The variance does not have the same unit of measure as the original data. For instance, if a set of data consists of times measured in hours, then the variance of the data will be measured in squared hours. So, yung variance dito does not have the same unit of measure as the original data kasi may mga times din na yung mini-measure is hours. Tapos dito sa example na binigay ko is ginamit natin dito in seconds. So hindi sila same unit of measure as the original data na pinakita kanina. The standard deviation of this data set is the data will be measured in squared hours, which is kung hours yung pinapa-measure, diretso na siya squared hours. The standard deviation of this data set is square root of the variance and as such is measured in hour, which is more intuitive unit of measure. So yung mga na-measured in hours, sila yung more intuitive unit of measure. So lagi yung tatandaan yan. Ngayon, pwede na nga tayo mag-proceed sa next, which is itong insertion. So itong insertion na to, a geometric view of the variance and standard deviation. So the following geometric explain of the variance and standard deviation of a set of data is designed to provide you with a deeper understanding of this important concept. So makikita nyo dito, ito yung formula natin na nasa baba, which is arranged in ascending order. So the average or mean of this data is, ayan, yung makikita nyo na formula, and yung variance naman yung nasa baba na formula. So lagi nyo tatandaan dyan, take note nyo yung formula na yan. In the last formula, each term can be pictured as the area of squared those side are of length. So the distance between the ith data value and the mean. We will refer to this squared as tiles. So itong mga ano to, nire-refer ito as tiles. So denoting by the T, the area of the tiles associated with the data values X. So lagi nyo tatandaan yan, yung letter T, ang meaning yan, tiles. Mamaya may papakita ako sa inyong picture. So thus, yung makikita nyo ngayon na formula, which means that the variance may be thought of as the area of the average size tile and a standard deviation as length of a side of this average size tile. So alam ko medyo confusing to. Anong ibig kong sabihin na average tile? Ano rin yung small na tile? So the drawing tile associated sa dataset as shown on the next page. So ito yung ibig sabihin, is ito. So visually estimate an average size tile and thus you can roughly approximately the variance and standard deviation. So ito yung sinasabi kong tiles. So makikita nyo dito, yan yung typical na tiles, which is ito banda. Then the average size tile ito. Ayan, makikita nyo. And then may mga unit of measurement na rin sila dyan. A typical dataset which is associated tiles and the average tiles. So this geometric representation of a variance and a standard deviation enable us to visualize how these values are used as measure of dispersion of a set of data. If all of the data are bunched up near the mean, it is clear that the average size tile will be small, consequently, so will its side length, which can represent the standard deviation. But even a small portion of this data lies far from the mean. The average size tile may be larger or rather large, and thus the side length will be large. So ito yung ibig nila sabihin sa typical na tiles, average size tiles, pati yung malalaking tiles. And that is it for my report. Isisend ko na lang din tong PPT na to kasi meron tayo ditong exercise set 4.2, which is madami ang pag-uusapan about methodology, ayan, mga ganto at marami pang iba. So tingnan nyo yung PPT and try the exercise by yourself. Again, I am Wendell Milka and thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is Zaidusne Epolaw. Now I'm gonna discuss the measure of relative position. Relative position measures a value that is relative to other value in a data distribution. The most common measures of position are we have three components of relative position. Number one is standard scores or z-scores, and number two is percentiles, and number three is quartiles. The measure of position helps to identify where a value falls in a data set. Now, relative position is the z-score. The z-score for a given data value x is the number of standard deviation that x is above or below the mean of the data. The following formulas show how to calculate the z-score for a data value in a population and in a sample. Ito yung nakikita nyo, ito yung formula ng z-scores. Ang z stands for z-score, and x is the individual data point you want to measure, and yung minus is mu. ang tawag dyan is mu. Stands for main of the data set, and then yung parang bilog na yan is tawag dyan is sigma. Stands for standard deviation of the data set. And then the z-score, the resulting z-score tells you how many standard deviation the data point x is away from the mean. If kung ang z-score is positive, it means the data point is above the mean. And kung negative man naman is, it means the data point is below the mean. Nasa below siya ng mean. And then the magnitude of the z-score indicates how far the data point is from the mean, and then in terms of standard deviation. Number one example of z-score is about sa compare, pagkukumpara. Number one is Raul has taken 2 tests in his chemistry class. Yung first try niya is he scored 72 on the first test, and then for which the mean of all scores was 65, and the standard deviation was 8. Nandito ang solution. Z stands for z-score. Ang z-score dito is 72, and then minus 65. Ang 65 dito is the individual point you want to measure. It stands for mu. And then ang standard deviation natin dito is 8, equal 0.875 kasi ang 72 minus 65 is equal to 7, di ba? And then naman ang 7 i-divide mo siya sa 8, is ang lalabas doon is 0.875. Sana gets. And then second test naman is he received a 60 on second test, for which the mean of all scores was 45, and the standard deviation dito is 12 in a comparison to other students. Scores dito is 60 and minus 45. Ang 45 dito is yung the mean of data set, and then ang standard deviation natin dito is 12. Ang nakikita niyo dito is 60 minus 45 is equal to 15. And then yung 15 na yun is divide mo siya sa standard deviation. Ang standard deviation natin dito is 12. Ang lalabas is equal to 1.25. Raul scored 0.875, standard deviation above the mean. Bakit tinawag na above the mean? Kasi greater than 0 sa above the mean on greater than 0 on the first test, and 1.25 naman standard deviation above the mean on the second test. These scores indicate that in comparison naman his classmate Raul scored better than on the second test than he did on the first test. Example number 2 naman, use z-scores. A consumer group tested a sample of 100 light bulbs. It found that the mean life expectancy of the bulbs was 842 hours with a standard deviation of 90. Ang standard deviation natin is 90. One particular light bulb from the Dura-Bright company had a zero score of 1.2. What was the lifespan of this light bulb? Now, solution natin dito is z score equals to x minus z-score equation. Solve for x. Z-score natin is 1.2. Ito naman sa 1.2 equals to x minus and 842 over 90. Ang 842 natin dito is the mean. Ang 842 natin is mean. Ang 90 naman is the standard deviation. Makikita ninyo bakit naging 108 kasi ang 1.2 natin na z-score is ita-times mo siya sa standard deviation. 1.2 times 90 is equal to 108. Tapos equal, makikita niyo dito is equal to x and plus 842 and equal to 950. Ang x natin dito kasi solve for x, ang x natin dito is 950. The span ng light bulb is naging 950. Sana naintindihan yun sa Z. And then sa number 2, components of relative position is the percentiles. Percentiles is most standardized examination provide scores in terms of percentiles, which are defined as follows. PTH percentile, a value x is called the PTH percentile of a data set provided P% of the data values are less than x. May example tayo dito using the percentiles. Example number 1 is, in a recent year, the median annual salary for physical therapists was 74. Palagay natin pesos ito. 70 kasi nakalagay dollar. Ganin natin Philippine peso. 74,480. And if the 90th percentile for the annual salary of physical therapist was 105,900 peso, kasi ginawa natin peso. Tapos find the percent of physical therapist whose annual salary is more than 74,480, B is less than 105,900, and C naman is between 74,480 and 105,900. Ang solution natin dito is, by the definition of median is 50 percentile. Therefore, 50% of the physical therapists earn more than 74,480 per year. Because 100,900 is the 90% of the physical therapists made less than 105,900. And from parts A and B, 90% minus 50% is equal to 40% of physical therapists earn between 74,480 and 105,900. Kaya ang sagot doon is letter C, between 74,480 and 105,900. Another example of percentile. On a reading examination given to 900 students, Ellen's score of 602 was higher than the score of 576 of the student who took the examination. What is the percentile for Ellen's score? Meron tayong makikita niyo dito yung solution. Percentile equal number of data values less than 602. Anong pinakamababa less than sa 602? Makikita niyo yung 576 of the students who took the examination. 576, and then total number of data values. Ang total number of data values natin dito is 900 students. 900 students pa ba? And then, paano naging 64? 64. Ang 100 pala dito is given na yan. Given na yan sa percentile para sa solution. And then, bakit naging 64 dito is 76. Ang 576 of students is di-divide mo siya sa 900. 576 divided by 900 is equal to
0.64.
at tapos naman
0.64.
is ita-times mo siya sa 100 is equal
0.64 kaya naging 0.64.
and then si Ellen score of 602 places her at the 64th percentile. Naging na sa 900 students si Ellen daw is naging 64th percentile.
That's it, yun lang.
To Alinor Pakan, he will continue the measure of relative position about naman sa quartiles. And thank you for watching my report. I hope you learn and also enjoy. Thank you for watching.
Good day everyone, I am Natawaner Bakan. I'm discussed for today report about hotels. So, first, what is the measure of relative position? This the relative position measure a value data is relative to other. The values in data distribution measures of position helps to identify where values falls in the data set. Mathematics in the modern world. Relative position contain three parts. These are score, percentiles, quartiles, and bugs and which score flow. Quartiles are the three values that sorted the data in four parts, each with equal number of observation. Quartiles are a type of quartile. First quartile, also known as Q1 or the lower quartile. Second quartile, also known as Q2 or the median. Third quartile, also also known as Q3 or the upper quartile. What are quartiles? Just as its name indicates, quartiles focuses on defending the data distribution into four parts where each quartiles is the specific point marking the division between the first quarter and the, the second quarter and the third quarter and the fourth. Example word quartiles are the values that defend a data set in, into quarters after the data set has between ordered each quartile as a name, and they are Q1 point, Q2 point, and Q3 point, where Q1 equals split the lowest 25% sort the data. Q equal median split the lowest 50% of the sorted data. Q3 split the lower 75% of the sorted data. The middle 50% of the data in the data set is proper distribution conference. The interval named the interquartile range, which is equal to subtracting the first quartile from the third quartile. Do not confuse a quarter which the quarter will inch
quarter refers to the worth fraction of the data resisting 25% of hit the quartile is the font that marks the division between one quarter and the other. Q1 equals split the lower 25% of the sorted data. Q2 equal median split the lower 50% of the sorted data. Q3 equals split the lower 75% of the sorted data. How to calculate quartiles? Let us explain the method to calculate quartiles with the next example. Example 3. Find the quartiles for each the data set. A, the bracket 9, 3, 7, 5, 2, 8, 12. We first find the median for which you have to order the data values from lowest to highest first and find the value in the midpoint. Bracket 9. Bracket 9, 3, 7, 5, 2, 8, 12. The bracket equal bracket 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12. Bracket. The median, the media, that is, the media represent the second of middle quartile. For discuss Q12 equals 7, then we just obtain the median for each half data values on the left and right 7 point and so bracket 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12 equal 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12 bracket. And we obtain the Q1 equal 3 and Q3 equal 9. B. Bracket 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15. This particular data set as is the values already ordered from lower to highest. Therefore, we'll just find the median.
Good day everyone and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I'm Samir Sagulama from Group 1. So my topic for today is all about normal distribution. So what is normal distribution? The shape and position of the normal curve depends on two parameters, the mean and the standard deviation. It's normally distributed. The standard deviation variable has its own normal curve which depends on the values, the variable standard deviation. The larger the standard deviation, the more dispersed or spread out distribution comes. So this is the properties of a normal distribution. Okay po, so this is the properties of a normal distribution. The distribution curve is bell-shaped. Kung mapapansin natin sa picture, yung shape na yan is yan po yung ganyan po yung curve or shape ng normal distribution curve. So the curve is symmetrical about its center. So ang area po dito tsaka yung area dyan is equal po sila o parehas po silang equal po yan sila yung area sa left at saka sa side. I mean, I'm referring to dito po, yung area po dito is equal po yan sila. The tails of the curve flatten out indefinitely along the horizontal axis, never touch it. The curve is sympathetic to the baseline. So yung tail ng curve natin or yung curve ng distribution is hindi po siya nakatouch sa x-axis. Kumbaga, papalapit lang po yung tail natin sa x-axis. Sympathetic po siya. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng sympathetic is nakatouch lang or hindi siya papalapit. Kumbaga, yun po, yung papalapit lang po siya sa x-axis. The area under the curve is 1, thus it represents the probability or proportion or the percentage associated with the specific set of measurement values. So, yung area, again, yung area po dito is equal po yan sa 1 or 100%. So, ang next is empirical rule for normal distribution. A normal distribution approximately 68% of the data lie within one standard deviation of the mean. 95% of the data lie within 2 standard deviation of the mean. 99% of the data lie within 3 standard deviation of the mean. So, ang focus natin sa video lesson na to is kung paano natin kunin ang areas under normal distribution. Para makuha natin ang areas under the normal distribution, we can use this table. So, there's a bunch of this kind of table sa internet, so you can download it. So bago muna is alamin natin muna kung ano talagang meron dito sa table na to. So, yun na nga, so paano ba gamitin to para kunin yung correspond areas ng z-values natin. So again, ang g-values, ang tawag dito sa column na to. So again po, ang tawag dito sa column side na to or column na to or left side is ito po yung z-values natin. Then ito naman sa taas, ito yung nasa taas, ito po yung 100 place of values against 100 place values. So, paano ba natin gamitin to? So, this is our example. Bago muna tayo mag-proceed sa example natin, is kailangan muna natin sundin itong process na to. So, in finding the values under the normal curve given a g value. Number 1, express the given g value into a 3-digit form. Number 2, using the G table, find the first 2 digits on the left. Number 3, match the third digit with the appropriate column on the right. Number 4, read the area or probability at the intersection of the row column. So, this is our example. So, find the area that corresponds to z equal 2. So, find the area that corresponds is the same as finding the area between z equals 0 and z equal 2, or 0 greater than z or less than 2. Yung z equal 2, parehas lang siya yung between z equal 0 and z equal 2. Or using interval rotation, yung z new is greater than 0 but less than 2. Or that should be greater than or equal. So between 0 and 2, so titignan muna natin kung saan ba natin makukuha or makikita yung 2. So okay, so mag-focus muna tayo dito sa column ng z natin, which is this one. 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. Yan po yung mga z values. Since wala namang decimal ang 2, again po, since wala namang kasama yung z natin, z equal to natin, itatapat natin siya, kukunin natin yung 2.0. Ito po, 2.0, then itatapat natin naman yung 0.0. So itatapat natin siya sa 0.00. So 2.0 plus 0.00. So kung ano yung katapat ng 0.00, yun na po yung z value natin. So So, a 0.00 is equal to 0.4772. So, yan po yung value ng ating z values. 0.4772. So, therefore, ang intersection nila is 0.4772. So, yan yung areas correspond to z equal to. So, therefore, yung area nito ay 0.00 equal 0.4772. Kung titignan natin sa graph is ganito po yung itsura niya. Yung red color, yan po yung 0.772. So, yun lamang po. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. Ako nga pala po si Raya Sulpanda Panggaga. And good afternoon classmate and sir. For example, okay, normal distribution. Ito yung normal distribution. Nakikita nyo ba yung z value sa left side? At saka yung 100 place of the z value nasa taas na z value. First step process in finding the area under the normal curve, giving a z value, express the given z value into a 3-digit form using the z table. Find the first two digits on the left column. Match the third digit with the property column on the right. The area or probability at the intersection of the round and column. So nakikita natin yung z equal to 2. Hanapin natin sa left side ang z, kung ano yung sa 2 wala siyang kasama, magiging 2.0 at kukunin natin yung 2.0 tapos plus ang 2 ay wala siyang kasama, magiging 0.00. Kung ano yun nasa gitna ng graph ay yun na ang lalabas. 0.4772. So nakikita niyo yung may kulay black, yan na yung 0.4772. Another example, sa left side na z, hanapin natin yung 2.4, ayun sa baba. Tapos hanapin natin yung 7, kunin natin yung 2.2 plus, hanapin natin yung 7 sa taas, ayun 1.07. Ang lalabas na drop na sa gitna ay 0.4932. Finding the area under the standard normal curve between the z equal to 1.03 and z equal to minus 0.37. Same din sa column na yan. So kunin natin yung z equal to 1.03 at yung 0.3485, yan yung nasa gitna graph. At saka yung kunin natin yung 0.37, ayan yung graph niya, 0.1443. So magpa-plus tayo dahil hindi parehas, minus at saka plus, magpa-plus tayo dahil hindi parehas. Kung parehas, magma-minus tayo. 0, kunin natin 0.3485 plus 0.1443 ang lalabas na sagot ay 0.4928. Ayan, nakikita niyo yung kulay black, yan yung area na sagot, 0.49928. So kailangan marunong tayong gumamit ng using the scientific calculator. So nakikita ninyo ay mapapalitan lang dyan yung Z1 at saka Z2. Ang Z1 ay yan yung pinakamababang number at saka yung Z2 yan yung pinakamalaking number. So ayan, makikita natin na napalitan yung Z1 at saka Z2. Yung Z1 ay napalitan na minus 1.44, and yung sa taas naman ng Z2 napalitan ng 0. Tapos equal na yan, ilalabas sa 0.421. So another example, the machine dispenses soda into 12 ounce cups. Test to show that the actual amount of the soda dispensed is normally distributed with a mean of 11.5 or Z and a standard deviation of 0.2 or Z. Okay, what the percent of the pops will the receive less than 12.25 oz of soda? Kukunin natin dito yung sagot ay yung percent. So okay, nakikita natin sa question, yung first question may makukunin yung question na sa less than, kukunin natin yung 11.25, tapos kung minus natin sa 11.5 at divide natin yung 0.2, ang lalabas na sagot ay 1.25. Tapos kunin, nakikita niyo yung nasa less than na 11.25, magta-times tayo sa 1.25. Ang lalabas na sagot ay 0.500 at yung formula o drop ng ay 0.3944. Magma-minus tayo, ilagay natin sa tabi ng 0.500 ay 5,000. Ma-minus natin yung 0.3944. Ang lalabas na sagot ay 0.1056. So 0.1056 magta-times tayo ng 100. Ang lalabas na sagot ay 10.56%. Yan na yung sagot. And sukran.
Hi everyone, my name is Asmin Payag. I'm your last reporter. So our reporter is linear regression and correlation. So linear regression and correlation is the most commonly used techniques for investigating the relationship between two quantitative variables are correlation and linear regression. Correlation quantifies the strength of the linear relationship between a pair of variables, whereas regression expresses the relationship in the form of an equation. So first is ito yung gagawin nating example. So the mean of y and x is ordered variance siya. So the first step is draw a scatter diagram for the data. So ito. So draw the scatter diagram. So ito yung value of y. Ito naman yung value ng x. So, ang pinakamalaki na number of y is 7. Sa y, sa x naman is 6. So, gawin natin siyang 8. So, hahanapin natin yung mga number na ordered pair. So, 1, 7, 2, 5, 3, 3, 5, 2, 6, 1. So, first is 1, 7. So, 1, 7. Yan, 1, 7. 2, 5, 3, 3, 5, 2, 6, 1. So, i-connect natin yan, pababa, pa ganyan. So, ang tawag sa line na ito is B is equals to mean of y negative A mean of x. The second step is find an sum of x, sum of y, sum of x square root of 2, sum of y square root of 2, close and open parentheses, sum of x and sum of y and x. So first na hanapin natin is sum of x. So sum of x is i-add lang natin ito. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6 is equals to 17. So the sum of x is 17. So next naman na hanapin natin is sum of y. So the sum of y is 7 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is equals to 18. So the sum of y is 18. Sa sum of y square root of 2 naman is paano natin kukunin? So kukunin natin ganito natin kukunin. So 1 times 1 is equals 1, 2 times 2 is equals to 4, 3 times 3 is equals to 9, 5 times 5 is equals to 25, 6 times 6 is equals to 36. So i-add natin to lahat. So 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 25 plus 36 is equals to 75. So the sum of x square root of 2 is 75. So next na hanapin naman natin is sum of y square root of 2. So the first is ganito. So 7 times 7 is equals to 49. 5 times 5, 25. 3 times 3, 9. 2 times 2, 4. 1 times 1 is equals to 1. So i-add natin ulit. So 49 plus 5 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1 is equals to 88. So the sum of y square root of 2 is 88. So paano naman natin kukunin yung sum of x and y? So paano nga ba? So first is 1 times 7 is equals to 7. 2 times 5 is equals to 10. 3 times 3 is equals to 9. 5 times 2 is equals to 10. 6 times 1 is equals to 1. So i-add natin yan. So 7 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 6 is equals to 42. So the sum of x and y is equals to 42. Yung n naman is 5. N natin is 5. Bakit? Kasi bilangin lang natin na 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on step 3 natin is find A, the slope of the least squares line, and B, the y-intercept of the least squares line. So ito yung yung sum of x natin is 17. So yan, 17. Yung n natin is 5. So 17 divided by 5 is equals to 3.4. Yung y naman natin, sum of y natin is 18. So 18 divided by 5 is equals to 3.6. So yung A, ito yung formula natin. So yung n is 5. Yung sum of x and y is 42. Yung sum of x is 17, sum of y is 18. So over yung n, consider 5. Sum of x square root of 2 is 75, and yung sum of x square root is 289. So ito 289. So 5 times 42 is equals to 210. So negative 17 times 18 is equals to 36. Yung then sa baba is 5 times 75 is 375, negative 289. So equal 210 minus 306 is equals to negative 96 over 375 minus 289 is equals to 86. So negative 96 divided by 86 is equals to negative 1.12. So dito naman sa B, ito B, so 3, ayan, so yung mean of y natin is 3.6. So ayan, 3.6. Negative, yung a natin? So a natin is negative 1.12. So ang mean of x naman natin is 3.4. So 3.4. So 3.6 negative, close and open parenthesis, 0.4. So kung mapapansin nyo is yung intercept natin is ito yung formula. So the formula is y equals mx plus b. So ang tawag sa m na ito is slope. So consider yung slope natin is b over a. So equals 7.1 over negative 1.12. Step D. Draw the least squares line on the scatter diagram from part A. So eto. So yung mean of y natin is 6, pinakamataas. Yung x is 3 ba? 3. 7. Yung y natin is 7.17. Yung x natin is 3. Yung 3. Ito, 3. So, first na hanapin natin is 3.4. 3.4. Yan. 3.4 and 3.6. So, 1, 2, 3.4. Ito siya. Yan. 3.4. So, 3.6 naman is ito. 3.6 and 3.4. Yan. 3.4 and 3.6. So, the next naman is negative 1.12 and 7.4. So, ito, negative 1.12. Yan. So, 7.4. Yan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yan. So, i-connect natin ito. So, ang line na ito is ito yung the line na ito is ito yung 7.4 is equals to mean of y plus 1.12 mean of x. Step E. Is the point mean of x and mean of y on the least squares line? So ang sagot dyan is yes. The point mean of x and mean of y, or 3.4 and 3.6, is on the least squares. So yun po yung sagot natin. So the step F is use the equation of the least squares line to predict the value of y when x is equal to 3.4. So ito yung formula natin. So yung b is 7.4 equals mean of y negative minus, close and open parenthesis, negative 1.12 times 3.4. So the y natin is 3.6 dahil predict po yan siya. So the last step natin is find the nearest 100, the linear correlation coefficient. So ito yung formula ng R natin. So n is 5, sum of x, y, 42, sum of x, 17, sum of y is 18. Yung n is consider 5, sum of x square root of 2 is 75, open and close parentheses, sum of x square root of 2 is 289. So yung n natin is consider 5. Yung sum of y square root of 2 is 88, close and open parentheses, sum of y square root of 2 natin is 324. So 5 times 42 is 210, 17 times 18 is 306, 5 times 75 is equals to 375 minus 289 is equals to 86. So yung 5 times 88 natin is 440 minus 324 is equals to 116. So 210 minus 306 is equals to negative 96. So hindi ko po alam kung paano basahin to, pero ita-times natin pa ganyan. So the answer is 99.88. So negative 96 divided by 99.88 is equals to 0.9611, or approximate negative 1. So means that the two data have perfect negative linear correlation. So perfect po. So